Spiritual Psychics TV is hosting the first annual recognition of achievements, acknowledging those who dedicate their lives to a spiritual act of kindness. Spiritual Psychics TV, bringing spiritual people together.
Good morning and welcome to Wimbledon Spiritualist Church. You are part of a physical congregation that's here in the church, or you're virtual and online on either Facebook or YouTube. As my guide told me that. Our medium this morning is I'm very proud to share the platform with our son, Ashley Robinson, and we've also got one of our grandchildren here this morning who's just up here for a few moments. I hope you have a lovely morning with us. Please remember, I'll say this later on in the service, but please remember, Spiritual Psychics TV is there for everybody. So if you're at home and you can't get to church, it's there for you. So I now ask Ashley Robinson to say the morning prayer.
Ready? Yes. I've got a little helper this morning that's going to help with the start of the prayer. Okay. Are you ready? Do your bit.
Put your hands together, please. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
My Father God.
Good. God, Father, come to say thank you for my love today. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Good boy. Sit down. Pick up your lolly. Thank you, Noah, for the introduction to that. And folks, continue to join me in as we open in prayer. Warm welcome to all of you at Wimbledon Spiritualist Church this morning and those of you online. So as we sit together, let us lay aside the day and test and unite in prayer. We seek the peace and love of Mother, Father, God upon what we are about to do. We seek that divine presence to guide us during this service and bring forth our loved ones, family and helpers from heaven, and may they offer us messages of hope and comfort when we attempt to contact them as they show us that life continues beyond that change we call death. We seek a blessing upon this church and all who have gathered, both seen and unseen. So mote it be. Amen.
Thank you, Ashley, for those kind words. And we now continue as part of the service with our healing prayer. Healing prayer for people that are in need, that are either here in our church healing book or in healing books at people's homes. More importantly, those names deeply in our hearts and our minds. So this morning we asked for Jackie, Mary, Barbara, Kelly and Stephen, Peter Birchall, Pam, Mick, Denise, John, Claire, Jill, Amber, Marion, Robert, Meha, Mumtaz, the people of the island of Tonga, Leslie, Claire. Heavenly Father, we ask you prayers for those people we have prayed for this morning. May the light in the countenance of your being and of your healing spirit remain with them now and forevermore. Amen. Friend, can we all say the Serenity Prayers, please? Be up on the TV screens and be up on the screen as well. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. So mote it be. Thank you. Now I'm going to ask George to go round here at the collection, and I'd like to thank everybody online who's donated to the church, either through direct debit or through just a donation to the church. I'm really grateful for that. And I think Richard might be doing some more adverts as well, so please also pay attention. Thank you, George. Well, friends, we're now going to say hello to a few names on screen, which Ashley's going to do for me this morning.
Good morning, folks. Shortly, our producer Richard will give me some of the names that come up on the service, but a warm welcome to all of you in the church this morning. I can see Petra and Phil and Shirley and George, Cherie, Big T, Kelly and Steve, and lots of other friends, New and Jim and Olwyn, and lots of others, Sally, here today. Online, we've got Karen Jane. Hello, Karen. Sarah Wheeler, good morning to you. We've got Noah at the church, Mum and Dad as well. Lovely congregation. Sounds like a divine intervention. I think that's Dad's music. Love to all the family from Dawn Collison. Hey, Dawn. Lovely Mary Dixie. Not too well today at home. Sending you some love, light and healing, Mary. Rosie Anderson. Good morning, everybody. Hi, Rosie. And Carol Ann. Good year. Stephanie. Hi, Stephanie. Morning. Hello, Naomi from Australia, watching the service. I guess it's evening over there now. Welcome, Naomi. Livy, sending love and light to everybody. Gillian Ross, good morning to you. Karen Goddard. Hiya, Karen. Christine Woodham from Spain. Hiya, Christine. Two of my circle leaders watching remotely today. One from Spirit. No pressure. Izzy Ryan, good morning to all. Hiya. Victoria from Derbyshire. Hello, Victoria Regan. Lovely to see you. And Joseph Pitchard. Hey, Joseph. Good morning to you. And good morning to everyone across Facebook and YouTube. If it's your first time watching the Divine Service, a special welcome to you online. Hi, Linda Wilson. If you've come back again to see it, thanks again for coming back. Please continue to help this community grow. Share it online across your social medias. Sheena Love, Light Heart. Hi, Sheena. Since we started broadcasting the Divine Service, we've had over 105,000 different views from across the world and in Wimbledon, which is lovely. Debbie, watching from Saltburn by the Sea. Hiya, Debbie. Christine Marius. Hiya, Christine. When my grandfather took over as president of this church in 1982, and with Gordon Higginson and Doris Stokes when he founded LAD Promotions, it's exactly what they wanted to do, is to continue to take the mission of Wimbledon, the truths of spiritualism out to the people. Hi, Sue. It's wonderful to have this connection, this opportunity to broadcast the service. Hello to the church family from Cherie Boxall. Hi, Cheryl. Great to have you all online as part of our remote family. Do one or two more, and hopefully we've covered most of the names. If you want to participate in the service, and if you want to accept messages and you're online, then all you need to do is participate in the live chat on YouTube. Hi, Claire Colbeck. Good morning, everybody. And on Facebook, just make a comment on the live stream wall. For those in the church, you just need to indicate, wave at me, smile at me. June Malkin, well done, Noah. Leslie says, well done, Noah, that was amazing. His first spiritualist formality was age 4 with a Catholic theme. There's his education coming in there. Okay, I think we've probably covered off most of them, have we, Richard? James, we spoke with Gordon in Circle. Oh, that's nice. So, yeah, wonderful to have so many people in the church today and so many people online. If I didn't specifically mention your name, no offence whatsoever, you're all very welcome. I'm now going to hand over to Shirley for a reading. And Debbie says, thanks for the shout out. You got a cheers from this end. Great, Debbie, cheers.
Good morning, everybody. The poem I'm going to read this morning is called The End of the Rainbow. I wrote it in 2008. All that glitters is not gold, but you are that pot at the end of the rainbow. Rainbow bright across it flows, red, yellow, orange, green, blue, indigo. Red for your passion in all that you do, yellow for your optimism, knowledge and inspiration so willingly given. Orange for the joy and courage you give to others. Green, your heart filled with energy that's emotionally free. Blue for the expression of peace, the true you. Indigo, your balance, humility, compassion, this all comes from you. Your heavenly light shines so white and bright, like diamonds twinkling in through the darkest of night. Dry your eyes, for the sun will rise and return you to that pot at the end of the rainbow. And oh, sorry, I should have almost gone down in my tone then. That was the end of it. Right, dry your eyes, for the sun will rise and return you to that pot at the end of the rainbow. Thank you. I knew I'd make a mistake somewhere.
Hello again, folks. I'd now like to give my address. For those that participate online with the show Being Spiritual, you'll know it's my fortnightly opportunity to talk about what makes me being spiritual, about my sort of spiritual philosophy. Oh, that conversation continued from Friday to the church service this morning. I was talking to Phil Shaw and a few others about how lovely it'd be to have a spiritual philosophy group. For the opportunity over a cup of tea, perhaps even a slice of cake, to talk about what makes us all spiritual, about our own philosophy. We could pick perhaps different subjects and talk about it. And my mum spoke about the time that she first came into this church. My dad had already been involved in spiritualism probably 10 years then, and they fiercely debated and disagreed on one of the subjects in philosophy then. And I mean, ultimately, sort of learning from that point, and they're still happily married and here today. So it was a good news story. You can disagree in marriage, but you all have that slight difference of opinion. We all have a understanding, and no doubt if I was to take the congregation both online and in person today, pick a subject, if we had 30 people in the church, we'll have 30 slightly different opinions. Now, hopefully, when we come together on the big ticket stuff, the headlines, the pictures of the subject, it's where we can find some common ground. But one of the wonderful things to me within spiritualism is, although we have principles that we would adhere to, we would have the pioneers that set out the foundations of spiritualism. This church has its own flavour. All of us absolutely entitled to our own opinions. It comes with one of those principal things, that responsibility, that personal responsibility, and our free will. And our free will includes what we decide to be the truth, or the truth as we have come to it or come from it. Now, the reason I sort of mention that as part of my address, because for me it's the importance of it. Little Noah just came up here a moment ago, and he went through a prayer which means something to him. It's the way that he likes to start his day in the academia world, at school, in the mornings. And it is a Catholic primary school. I've mentioned that before, both in this service and online. And for me, there's nothing incompatible with spiritualism in Catholicism, although Catholicism wouldn't necessarily say that everything we do and prove we can do is totally compatible with them. But at a high level, it is. The importance of the intention behind any prayer or incarnation is what's there. And you think about those words that Noah said, he's thanking God for coming today, for the love that we've had today. It's that opportunity to start the day. What a wonderful way to start the day. One of the principles of his school, they got some values: teamwork, ambition, love. Love is one of the school ambitions. It's one of the things they want to teach, and they regularly ask, how do we know love? How do we experience love? How do we teach unconditional love. And often they'll talk about through service. Now, this is a Catholic primary school. What do we talk about in spiritualism? About how we show unconditional love. We talk about through service, what we can do for others. The motto of this church, not what we can do for ourselves, but what we can do for others. And as individuals that bring ourselves both online in this service today, we'll have that collective there. It's about doing things unconditionally. This week, first week, the kids back to school for me, starting to get my nerves back down and blood pressure back down. Pleased to see them at school. I've missed them. I've missed most of my kids. As a lot of you know, we've got baby number 3 on the way for spring. And I've spoke about some of the detriments of my character, if you like, with my kids, because I don't really like having to shout. I mean, sometimes I feel like I've got to get the volume up just to get across, but certainly when they're both at it. And Noah had said he loved me. And I said, of course, I love you. And he said, you love me when I'm naughty and I don't listen. And I said, yeah, of course I do. And actually, with a 4-year-old, I started getting into a quite deep conversation about what unconditional love was. And the fact I was always love him, regardless of his attitude or behaviour. He then thought about that and kind of got it. And actually, if he's ever naughty since that conversation, one of the first things he says is, sorry, and I love you, Dad. Gets it in nice and early, which is always a good diffuser, I think. But it's also about his understanding of that, because regardless of the situation, he's reminding himself of that unconditional love. And I think that's so important. And as we think about academia, as we think about religion, we think about the things that bring us together, there is so much that unites us. Often the drive is to focus on what doesn't unite us, about the differences. And if we think about war, we think about conflict. Often it's the differences that get people upset. It's the differences that get people angry. But as spiritualists, we talk about the universal and unconditional love of a supreme being. I like to call that supreme being God, because it's a word I'm comfortable with. But however or whoever you recognize that unconditional love, that divine presence by, that's just as important, because your labels and your faith is private to you. And as spiritualists, I continue to encourage you to practice that. God could be many faces, many memories, many influences. In my prayer, I spoke about Mother, Father God, recognizing a masculine and feminine energy. Noah, from his start of education, spoke about a Father God, which talks about the history and the evolution of the traditional Christianity within church, and perhaps just the tone and the language of the culture. In 2022, there's far more genders across the spectrum than just male and female, binary and non-binary, and people that choose not to say pronouns. All of that, for me, is important, because everyone should have the absolute right to believe what they want to believe, to say what they want to believe. And when we get passionate enough to talk about those things we believe to be true, then it's great that we have that passion. But can we be 100% certain that everything we say that we're passionate about is absolutely right? Well, if we're passionate enough to get up here and talk about it or tell it to someone else, I suggest that we probably do think it's 100% right. But it's only as we look at that big picture. It's almost like having to get into a spiritualist helicopter, take up a little bit just to see everything that's going on. And the reason I say helicopter, it's not about living in that big picture and seeing everything as the small dots and people. It's about being in a helicopter that can land when necessary, that can hover over the areas that require the most attention. But for me, it is that ability to be able to come back, to take that step back, to look at the bigger picture, to see the influence and the impact on other things and other people. And that's what I wanted to sort of get across this address today is, may you all be in your own helicopters. May you all have the ability to get to where you need to when you need to be there, but the ability to see that bigger picture and the ability to land when people need you and you need to be there. Respectful of people's rights and feelings. Those wonderful demonstrations of unconditional love. Loving people, even for when their attitudes and behaviours are probably very wrong or certainly different to ours. That in itself makes the unconditional love even more powerful. And we get so much evidence from the spirit world about that power of unconditional love, about that power of service, about that power of us doing something in this 3D incarnation and dedicating that service to perhaps a loved one in the spirit world. We have evidence from them that that means something. So, one step at a time, 1 foot forward. Step off with your left foot or your right foot. Do whatever you want, but go forwards on a journey, your journey of exploration, your journey of experiencing everything you can in this life with this experience. And may it be in pursuit of happiness. May it be with people that you love, that love you. And may it be doing things that you love as much as the time as you can. Thank you, friends.
Thank you very much, Ashley. It was a lovely address. Now, friends, we've come into that part of the service where Ashley will demonstrate the gifts of the Spirit. If Ashley should speak to you and you think it's online, please remember there's a 15-20 second delay. And here in church, if you think it's with you, please clearly put your hand up. And between Ashley and myself, we're direct over there to you. And remember very much who you are, what you're wearing here in the church. And online, please remember when you're replying yes or no, it's what you're saying yes or no to. That would help a great deal. Now, friends, Ashley's going to bring the two worlds just that little bit closer by a demonstration of mediumship. Thank you.
Thank you, folks. So for those that haven't seen me work before, the way that I work is hopefully in an uplifting way, but I'll be asking your communicators to come forward and give me evidence of who they are and who they were to you, evidence of the personality of the person they were when they had this life, and then to give you evidence of their life after that change that we call death. So be open-minded. Your mind works better like a parachute in that sense. Keep it open, and hopefully I'll give you some evidence. Okay, my first communicator is a lady. This lady was a mother, but she's also a grandmother. I think I'll be communicating with a granddaughter you'd recognise as Nan. This lady takes me towards the left-hand side of her body around her heart. She's talking about passing with heart failure, having heart conditions. The letter C is quite important to her. She was showing me the name Carol within my mind. So I don't know if the name Carol, because she kept circulating that letter C. C for Carol. Is that yeah, okay. She keeps reinforcing that letter C. Also, the name she was just given there, I've got a Bert or a Bertie that she was just mentioning. So I think I've been communicating with someone that would recognise this woman as a grandmother, mother's side of the family. So this would be mum's mum that's passed with a heart failure. The letter C is significant to you and her. You would understand why that importance of C, and also perhaps this possibility of a name Bert that she was just mentioning. The number 29 is important. I don't know if the 29 is it a door number, because I can see it on a door, like a brown door, or if also my birthday is the 29th of September, so perhaps she's just reminding you all to send me a card, or she's just taking me to that importance of that date, towards the end of September and autumn. Okay.
A lady called Ruth, my mum was Carol.
Right. So we've got a lady called Ruth that says her mum was Carol. For those people online or in the church accepting it, I want you to say yes to everything. Everything I've said is from that same communicator. So thank you, Ruth. If your mum was Carol and she's in the spirit world, I'd also need you to understand all the other things that we're talking about, the fact that they were a mum and a grandmother. There was this strong link to the communicator was talking about being on mum's side of the family, and this heart condition. Okay. Carol, it's another Carol, isn't it? It says yes, Bertha. Okay. So yeah, those online, I am. Okay, thank you. I was just asking if I am in the church. No, I am online with this reading. So it will be someone online that will understand this, and I will need you to be saying yes to everything. So I know there's a small delay on YouTube and Facebook and people comment on that, but if you're saying yes to something, I want you to be saying yes to everything. So 29, the heart condition. Carol Ann Goodyear says, Ness, Nan, Bertha, I, and you are Carol. Okay, yeah, okay, and you'd understand Nan. So Carol Ann Goodyear, let's work with you. That, yeah, okay, I know her. That's her. Thank you. So Carol Ann Goodyear. As I link in with you, then you recognise this woman, Nan. You understand yes to Bert, and you are Carol. You'd understand the heart conditions then. Okay, thank you. As she links in, Carol, she was talking about the fact of you needing to centre yourself. What is the centre? It's the point within a circle, okay, of which every part of the circumference is equidistant. And she's saying to me that is important for you to keep all of your options on offer, okay? She's talking about you being in the centre of the circle. and you are there. All of your options are around you. They're all within arm's reach, of arm's length, Carol. And she said that's important because there's a lot of thinking, a lot of consideration at the moment about what to do next. And she's saying everything is on offer. And don't forget that it's not just the things in front of you. You're in a circle. You can turn around this circle. And she's really encouraging me to kind of move around this circle and see all of these things, including the things that you thought, Carol, were behind you. They're still on offer. You're in the middle. You can take all of this. And you have everything you need to make a decision about this. And you must trust your intuition, Carol, because you are being drawn like a piece of elastic to go in one direction. Okay, I'm asking more about this. This is about life right now and not being entirely sure about what to do next. She has given me, Carol, this sense of complacency. I am satisfied. Everything is okay, but I want the next thing. I want the next step. So Carol's saying yes. Thank you for confirming, Carol. So she's saying step off. Go for the first thing and recognize, like a piece of elastic drawing you there, it will pull you back to the straight, to the center, to the pathway that you need to walk. And you can try a little bit of all of these things. It's not a one or nothing. Your heart is pumping so hard. Okay, hopefully in a good way, Carol. Otherwise, let us know if there's any problems. Okay. Nan was fun. Nan was a lot of fun, and she's talking about her opinions being famous. My famous opinions. If you want my opinion, love, you must go for it. Just make your decision. For the moment, you're observing the scenery and you are complacent and you are satisfied in the centre, but you won't get to experience any of those things unless you go forward, unless you grab hold of it. I've got to real things of life purpose as well, Carol, but you wanting to understand the meaning of this and what's the value to it, rather than just carrying on and going forward. She says, experience it all, experience everything, Carol. Are you feeling warm? Okay, hopefully in a good way again, Carol. Okay, thank you. Yes. Do it all, Carol, do it all. She loved you very much too. Thank you for saying that. You loved her so much. She sends you her love and she gives you opinion. Take it all, take all of it, but take one at a time. Step off from the center, step off and do the first thing. Do those hobbies, do those experiences, find the money for that thing you wanted to do by robbing from Peter to give to Paul. You'll understand that, moving some money around. You've just done that last week. There was an account, something in 28 pence. She was talking about you moving some money across and rounding it up. Rob from Peter to pay Paul. Do those things, Carol. And Carol, thank you very much. That was your message. Thank you. I'm just going to take some water. Thank you, Carol. Right. I feel like I'm in the church and being directed over towards the left-hand side, but people open-minded. I've got a man with me. As this man links in with me, he talks about being dad. He talks about dad with a cancerous type condition. I've got an infection that has affected my upper body and my torso. Dad. This is dad. I keep saying dad. I feel I'm communicating with a lady who'd understand dad with this cancerous type condition. Okay, dad, my dad, right. Yeah, I think I've got this link back to dad because I keep talking about my dad, although I feel like I've got a Raymond in the family too. Obviously, my dad is Ray. They might just be reinforcing that. I feel like Ray would be important within the family. So I'm looking for someone in the church that would understand. Father, in the spirit world, there's cancerous type condition. I feel like I've had an infection, which is maybe find out about the cancer, and it's all kind of been linked. Yeah, you'd understand, and you would as well. Okay, 3 of you, let you get some more information. I'm asking for a birthday or anniversary around the 17th. I don't know if it's March. I'm certainly in spring. Her birthday was 17th of August. Your birthday is 17th of August. Petra Daphne, did it make sense to you, the number 17? I'm asking for birthdays or anniversary. No? Okay, and it'll be your dad, Phil. Okay, Phil, I'll work with you then if that's all right. That makes sense. If it's your dad asked him for a birthday and he gave me your number. Spring was quite important. Was that more about an anniversary of his passing, the 17th of August, be it summer, your birthday? Is there an anniversary in spring? Or was that Mum? You're just talking about just after winter, the spring. As we hit into the spring, there was an anniversary. Mum's here as well. We're together. Okay. All right. Thank you, Phil. So this message, folks, online is for Phil Shaw in the church. Phil, as he comes with me and he comes forward, he stands strong on planting both feet. He gave me this initial pain and discomfort about his right knee, as if that sometimes I put more pressure on my left, and there was something about the way I walked forward, and you'd be aware there was a bit more wear to one side of my shoes, and I feel like just confirmation for you that I was able to reproduce my spiritual body without any of those imperfections. I stand tall and I stand wide, and I feel like I can put my weight across. There was something around the size of my leg as well, and I started to lose weight, and I felt one side that I was overusing slightly, was slightly bigger on one side. Okay, it was just giving you that confirmation. Do it. Yeah, I'm not going to do it. Okay, thank you. Obviously, I feel I've known you a long time. I know little bits about your private life. So I'm asking him to give me evidence of things I wouldn't know, and he's talking about the work that you've done. Connecting people within the theatrical world, okay? And he's talking about the ability, that the coaching part of that, the fact that he was suspicious of it for you. Would you understand that? He understands even more this side about the impact that it had on the people that you coached, and not just the value that it added to your life, but he's talking about the fact they found it initially difficult to almost support it and be supportive of that work. Would that make sense? Okay. And he's talking about the fact you're very good at it and do it very well. Ability to teach and coach, and I know you're involved in that. In fact, we've taught and demonstrated together, but he's talking about the fact you are very good at it and you'd understand. I found it hard to unzip my mouth and talk more about that. When I did open it, it was perhaps far more negative than what I would now refer to as maybe sort of constructive. It was just negative. Okay, and I'm sorry for that. But I want to say about the value that I can see that you've had on that. Okay, thank you. I know that left mum and you for a while on your own. Okay, I'm recognising the value that you went and did far more than any son should had to have done for their mother. And you know the value, the physical, practical value that you added, but I want to talk about how important that was for her to be able to release as well, to be looked after. And she's talking to me about that experience and going through. So thank you for doing that. Thank you for going through. Flying high, flight, okay. Putting a pilot's hat on you, and he's talking about this upwards, flying, and you're like a pilot's briefcase and a pilot's sort of suit, and I'm asking about direction. You are in charge. You are the captain, okay, about taking this to the next step. You and your patience as opposed to your customers. Okay, right, patience, helping other people. This is around healing, about you leading them to the right place, about you continuing to take people to the right place. Some of that is a practical thing. There's an element of bringing people into the church, Phil, but there's also this element of you have this ability, trust. The trust is important. People listen to you and they will come with you. They will fly with you and you will take them. The reason I'm saying flying, there's also an awful lot of end of life care. Okay, you recognize this with your mum, but there was also this element of you preparing her for that next chapter, for that ascension, about raising her capacity, her understanding. I want to call it intelligence, but her understanding about that. And you have this ability to do this afterlife preparation, as he's calling it, but this end of life before the new life. Okay, and he wants to give you that confidence. Thank you. You're a good man, and I love you. Okay. Thank you, Phil. That was your message. Okay. Okay, I think I'm online for the next message. Okay. Got links across the channel to France, and this person certainly speaks a little bit of French. I've got a younger man here. I've got the letter G for golf, for Jerry, who's just mentioning here. Humus, blood, okay. I've got a man that's communicating, this communicator will connect with someone online. He's talking about, take that away, headaches. I've had something in the head, some sort of tumour or a bleed on my head. that has affected that. I was bilingual. I did speak French as a foreign language. I like to go down to France. When this started to happen, I couldn't. It's like I get stuck in French mode, like a switch on a toy. He's quite funny, this guy. But I was switched on to French mode, and I was speaking in French when I was in the hospital. There was an awful lot of pressure that caused this headache. Right. So I'm looking for someone online. You're going to recognise this man. Debbie said amazing work. Thank you very much, Debbie. You'd recognise this man as you're communicated. Recognise this head trauma. He's calling it tumours. Some sort of pressure and infection that's caused him some confusion, and the fact that he was speaking different languages. And I believe it was French. French is about the only other language I know. English, South London English, and a little bit of French. And he keeps talking about that, and he keeps taking me back to school with my French. So it might just be a link to the fact this is a language that has been with him for a long time. But you'd understand that towards the end of my life, this pressure on my head was causing me, he's talking about like a broken switch on a toy. I was in French or Spanish mode, and okay, right. Cheryl says, my son's father is Jerry. His cousin had a brain tumour. Cheryl, thanks for giving that confirmation. Again, for those online, I want you to be saying yes to everything. So thank you for the confirmation. Try not to feed me too much information. But in confirming that, I'm going to assume that the yes means yes, you accept everything that has been said. Let me get one or two more bits of evidence, Cheryl, to see if I'm still with you. Okay, come on, give us some dates and some anniversaries. Road. Lived in a cul-de-sac. There's something about one of the last places I lived. I was in hospital before I passed over with this life after life, but I lived in a cul-de-sac, something close. Is it Beaconsfield, Brickensfields, Bickenson, something close. That's what he was just trying to give him this name. I lived in Brooklyn Close years ago in Carshalton, and it was almost like he was trying to say something similar to that. I do have links to London, Greater London. I see the M25, and I feel like I'm inside there, and I'm inside this close. That would be a link. You'd understand this communicator. So, Cheryl, if I am with you and you accept all of that, please give us a verification. Otherwise, if there are other people online that would understand that information, that's quite specific now. Sheena said, Dad had cancer in the head. Sheena, I'd need you to say yes to everything. Okay, so folks, if you're engaging online, let me know that. But you'd understand this man, this Jerry, this type of pressure and infection I've had in the brain. I think it's caused a bleed or a tumour of some sort. And this confusion, I feel like the language thing, it's like I couldn't filter what was being said. I was going to say one thing, it was another. And it was a big frustration for me because I wasn't aware of it, because I only ever thought what I was saying, and it was confusing of other people. Some sort of affection, delirium. Right, Helen says, a friend has not long passed. He was in France, started having head trouble, but was told to come home to England, and he was a teacher. Started having head trouble, told to come home to England, and he was a teacher. No, not passed. Okay, Helen, that sounds like you've come in later that you'd be accepting. Yeah, Helen, I know Helen. Helen, I will work with you. Helen Mansell. Okay, thank you. Right, so you'd understand this links in the French and the trouble with the head. I feel like I've not had much chance to fight this, Helen. He was talking about the fact that I sort of became unwell and then I died. I didn't really have much time to do anything about this. I loved being able to, in the same way that it was taking me back to school. I loved working with young people about influencing them. And I also found that in the last few chapters of my life that you didn't have to be young in terms of ages on earth, but young in terms of learning and having this huge appetite for information. It was something I really loved about making a difference. It's quite funny because he was talking about this switch. I just wanted to flick the switch back to normality. There was this sense of me wanting to get well and feeling better before I went downhill quite quickly. I feel this was quite aggressive in this terms of passing Helen. So hopefully, okay, he says, as I say, Helen, it all makes sense. He says, yeah, it does make sense. I just told you. Thank you. You're right. No time. Okay, thanks, Helen, for that confirmation. He was agreeing with what he had said anyway. Quite a confident guy when he was confident about stuff. And he says, yeah, this is me. I know exactly what happened because it happened to me. Quite defiant about that. Helen, as he works with you, he's talking about entering the spirit world and being surrounded by friends and family being more important, because he was expecting perhaps something, not exactly sure what it was going to be. And he's talking about the love that you had sent him, around him wanting to be well, and around other people from spirit being close and coming to him. Helen says he was fantastic. Thank you, Helen. It's quite important for me to tell you about this, because I know that you were thinking about me before I passed, but I know you continue to send me love for, he's calling it like the transition. It was like I arrived here and I continue to feel your love, and it was like a bright light continuing to guide me and drive me in the direction. So thank you for taking the time, Helen, to think about me. I send you my love. I'm also here to say that although they're not communicating, I've got family around you. I've got a lady that connects, he's called very maternal, like a mumsy lady that he was just talking about in the spirit world, that would connect to you via family, Helen. And he's talking about the fact that he wants you to put your head back on your shoulders, chin up off your chest, Helen. Look forward at this and look it in the eyes. You've got this. There's something about the challenge, Helen, ahead of you. And this is felt, it's feeling right now. It's something about right now, Helen. It is overwhelming you. And he says, don't sweat the small stuff. Focus, head up, chin off chest. Go forward into this. You've got this. You've got everything you need to circumvent and adapt. And that's what you need to do in this situation. It's not about going toe to toe with this challenge. It's about adapting, circumventing and adapting. He's saying you need to move fast, but you need to move fast forward, Helen, and that you've got this. He is with you. All that love and light you sent him. Yes, thank you. Confirmation from you, Helen, that you wanted to help him. He felt that. Well, he's here to help you continue to go forwards, to go onwards. And you've absolutely got this. Chocolates, working your way through the, you're just saying you're working through the chocolates. Helen says she understands there's a challenge. Yes, overwhelming. Okay. Chocolates. He said you've got a couple of boxes of chocolates almost on top of each other. And it's like you're methodically working your way through them, almost like dominoes. He said you're taking your time and patiently. And he said that's all you need to do in this situation. And in the same way that all of those chocolates are different, all of the experiences along this journey, along this way, are going to be different. But one chocolate at a time, one day at a time, Helen. Please, has he got a message for his family? Okay. And the message is for you, predominantly about doing what you need to do. But tell them I'm alive. Tell them that I didn't have much time to panic about this, so I wanted to be well, and I'm more well now than I've ever been before. And I don't have any regrets about being where I am. The only things I regret are the things I didn't continue to do. But you'd understand within the family, there are things I felt compelled to do. And I now recognize the fact that it may have been because I was coming towards a point of my life of end of experience. I had no understanding of that while I was alive, but my family will hopefully understand that I did the things I did while I had that life and experience and that incarnation. And what I see that now is that's because that was going to be the end of my experience, and I wanted to make sure I got those things done. So I know there was some time that I spent away from my family, abroad, and also busy learning. I've got lots of books and certificates, but you'd understand now, my family, how important it was to me to have experienced those things. And therefore, as I change through that death process and I arrive here for this life after this life, that I'm going to go forward with it, and I'm going to continue to explore my learning and my opportunities around education and investment. Helen says she doesn't usually eat a lot of chocolate, but lately, yes, you have. Okay. Thanks for the confession, Helen. Enjoy them and enjoy those moments. Tell his family that he lives, that he has a life after this life. No regrets about where he is, only the regrets that he didn't finish everything that he wanted to do, but sorry for the time that I did spend away from my family. I now live on, and I'm around them, and I am close to them. They must carry on. Thank you for your love and your thoughts, Helen. Okay, Helen, that was your message. Thank you very much. Bush. Oh, Mr. Bush. I was just looking. Mr. Bush was one of the founder of this church. I'm sure he was just saying Bush here. Okay. Well, nice. There's a message from Mr. Richard Arthur Bush, from the founder of this church, just to everybody. Thank you. Thank you for coming to my church today, and thank you for those that are watching online. Bush out. That was it. Nice, short and simple. Thank you, Mr. Bush. Right. Kate. Right. I've got a lady here. Family. Okay, I've got a lady. I'm in the church. Okay. I know I'm in the church. Yes, thank you. Right. I'm going to be with someone in the church right now for this message, because I've got a lady that's with me. This lady is family. She was giving me the letter K. K for Kate. Family. You'll understand me as family. I've got a mum and a nan, or great grandmother, she's saying. Cherie, you think you'd understand this lady? Let me try and get some more information so you understand it. July, I'm asking for a birthday or anniversary that would be significant between you. No? Okay, that's granddad's. 16th of July, okay, which was my grandfather's birthday, or she's mentioning that. I've got something important about the summer that she was just making reference to, because she was taking me to my granddad's birthday. Why is that important? It's not about your birthday, it was significant though. To look forward to. August, your plans for August, middle of August this year. She was just talking about the reference to that. She says near your granddad's birthday. Okay, you would understand. Christmas, birthday. Right, thank you. Thank you. Right, Noah's birthday was the 10th of December. She's talking about a birthday being celebrated in December. You would understand. Okay. So as she links in with you, Cherie, she's talking about good to have gone back to the photos, the old photos. And as part of this, it's about seeing a plateau. Right. Okay. Why is that? Right, I want to understand. It's not just about the photos, it's about that point of the life. There is, okay, 7. I want to go back about 7 years. 7 was she was talking about. And there was a plateau. I could have zigged or I could have zagged. I could have gone left or right. She said, you went right. You've gone off and made memories and experiences. And it feels like by almost going back to that time around 7 years, it felt where there was a significant change in something. You've now got the opportunity to go off and explore and make memories and make experience doing it the other way. So she's talking about the fact it's like a tree. You've gone up through the tree, and I think 7 is significant. About 7 years ago, I've gone off and created all these different branches over here, and now I'm branching off to the other side. And she's talking about right now, I want to go back to the last 18 months in particular, has felt like the start of something new, part of something existing. I've got the strength of the tree and the strength, and I've got this new branch, this new opportunities, but with old memories about older things. And that's why she's showing me the photos. Does that make sense, Cherie? Okay, and she's excited about that for you, because had the tree continued to go on, it would have felt pressure on one side, almost as if I'm leaning to the right. And I feel that with you, there is this sense of stability, this sense of strength that's coming, that growing and branching out together. There's also this element of time being an opportunity to experience similar things in a different flavour, okay? And she's talking about the blend being really important for you, about you continuing to do that. Okay. I know, because I've known you for a long time, that you don't have to go back too far in your life. Would have seen you on a motorbike, but she's putting you on a motorbike, and I've got the one with has a Harley Davidson, the higher handlebars, and I've got you swapping seats, okay, and you driving this cycle, and I'm doing it, and I know that Harley Davidson, I think it's the significant. It's loud. I'm going to be heard. I'm going to be seen, and I feel that the handlebars being quite tall is almost pulling you up and looking over to see where you're going. And she's talking about the direction. It feels like you're in a driving seat, okay? And this feels quite important at the moment. You're also no more now where you want to go, okay? There was an element of being happy to go where the bike was going. Now there's an element of you knowing exactly where you want to go and when you want to be there, and you driving, okay? She was just bringing in this sense of fun and adventure with the bike, because it's not necessarily a road and a beaten track you've been on before, but you know where you're going to go and you know you're going to end. This is quite important to her to tell you about this. She sends you her love. She knows that you feel that. She's also talking about the power of healing. So we had earlier on in the address, often my mediumship and address is quite aligned, but she's talking about your absent healing, like a lighthouse, like a beacon, very, very powerful, okay? Feels like you're fishing from the lighthouse for names of people to help, because you can't shine the light if you don't know they're out there, okay? She's at the top of this lighthouse, and she's like, you're casting wide and you're casting far, okay? And I want to talk about the value that you're adding through this absent healing process, and you looking for people, not waiting for them to find you, okay? You're putting yourself out there. Does that make sense? And she's saying, thank you for doing that. You're obviously aware of your own guides within that healing, but what she's saying is that she's getting to know them on this side. It's like she has an element of her spiritual life where she's meeting some of that team that are working with you, and she's excited by it, and she's proud of you, okay? She's proud of you because you're not reacting to this. You are proactively doing what you think is the right thing to do. And it's all around these excitement and these changes and these going forward. Good that you're not reliant on the stick. Okay, and she's just saying you keep doing that. Make sure you take the time to ask for you. You can heal bits of yourself, but you have to ask for the help too. Just look for other people casting out. Give them your name. Continue to invest in you. Ring. The ring you're wearing, she's saying at the moment, you've got a brooch in a similar stone. Understand, a brooch with a green stone. Aqua, and she likes it. She likes the aqua. Is it an aqua or a turquoise? It's almost like she's the colours of like an aquarium ocean within this blue, misty blue. And she's saying that she likes the stone, misty blue. Okay, that makes sense?
Very much.
Okay, right. Okay, thank you, Cherie. That was your message. Okay, take care. Take your love and mine. Okay, folks, I think I'm back online with the next message. But I was just mentioning there, Alfie. Keep seeing Alfred from Batman, and I'm pretty sure it's not him, the butler, but there's something about that name, Alfred, I think that's quite important to this communicator. Right, who are you, my friend? I've got a man here talking about service. He's almost dressing himself as a butler. Family. Brother. Okay, I was the brother. I've got a member of family here, and I think I'll be online. Someone would understand. Member of the family. Certainly, he was a sibling. He was a brother. I don't think he was married, because he's talking about dedicating his life to service to others and not being married, not having children. Understand him. Died in my sleep. My heart. I just went to sleep. Didn't even know I had a heart problem, but I had a major impact on my heart. Boom. Quite quickly, I died in my sleep. So I'm looking for someone online that would understand, a male member of the family that's passed away in their sleep. I feel this person was unmarried without children, but had a sister. They had children, and I was known as within the family. People send some lovely messages. Thank you, Avril. So it's going to be, I'm online. I'm sure I'm online. He keeps making this joke about Alfred. Karen King says, Alfred was my mother-in-law's mother. Okay. Working for Batman, Karen, was it? Right, I'm not sure if that's, I'll be honest, I haven't understood your input there, Karen. I'm looking for someone to understand all of this. So a communicator is a man. You'd understand this name, Alf or Alfie or Alfred, within the communication. You'd understand a man that has passed with heart failure quite suddenly in his sleep. Karen King, he was in service and died suddenly. Okay, Karen King, thank you very much for that confirmation. Although Sarah's now saying sounds like my dad. Well, let's fine tune it then. Let's get some more information. So Sarah or Karen, I'd want you to get this real feeling, not feeling, because he's telling me I wasn't married, I didn't have children. I had siblings, I had other members of the family, I had nieces and nephews. Passed on my sleep, and you'd understand this service. So Sarah, you said he thinks it sounds like your dad. You need to say yes to everything else. Otherwise, Karen, I think I may be with you. Let me get some more information. Something about the harmonica. I played with my right hand. The harmonica is important, and there's that noise. Mother-in-law's brother. Okay, thank you, Karen. Right, the harmonica would make sense to you as well. I feel like I could play anything. I've got like a comb and a piece of paper that I'm playing like a harmonica. This was like a bit of a party trick that I could do, you know. Not Britain's Got Talent winner or anything like that, but you know, he could knock out a tune on a cone or a harmonica. Karen says no, he had no children, but lots of nieces and nephews. Okay, so Karen, I think I am with you. You're saying yes to everything. Karen, you'd understand this person. I think the only thing you confirmed yet is the musicality, but the sense that he could knock out a tune. It was entertaining. It was funny within the family. So Karen, I believe this message is for you, and as I'm working with you, okay, but I want to place healing hands on you, Karen, at the moment, because you've been asking for healing. He's talking about placing healing hands on you, about you needing some healing at the moment. He's talking about the physical side of what's going on, or the symptoms of something a bit deeper, a bit psychological, Karen, but within the mind, and him wanting your permission. Okay, he played in a band. Thank you, Karen, for that confirmation. So with you, he's talking about the fact that he feels like he wants to heal with you, but you've been asking for healing about the way you've physically been feeling. He feels that there is an element of mental health. Oh, it sounds wrong when I say it like that, but you know, you've got your physical health and then you've got your mental health. There's something psychological that he also wants to help overcome. So Karen, it's your private life and you don't have to give too much information online, but if that doesn't make sense, tell me. He tells me it will make sense. And he's just asking for consent to heal the mind, the body, and the soul as part of this. And I feel like there's an element of also you having to get over something. There is a barrier here for you to come over, and you can't circumvent this barrier. It's almost like it's blocked. Karen says, yes, help. I'm getting help at last after a lot of grief. Okay, thank you, Karen, for that confirmation. Now, I've got you at this barrier, and it's like it's blocking the path. I can't circumvent it. I can't go back. And I feel a bit penned in, he was just saying, and he's here to help you. He's here to get over this. But ultimately, you have the grappling hook, Karen. He says, look in that bag of life skills and tools that you have, because you have a grappling hook, and we're going to get you over this barrier. You can do it, and only you can do it, but no, we're all supporting you. Inside that bag is a walkie-talkie. I will be there to help you to use this grappling hook. It's going to require some work to get over the barrier, and the barrier is a combination of mind, body, and soul in preparation as well as in healing. There is also someone that needs to get out of your way. Part of this barrier is a person. Definitely, I will come back. Thank you, Karen. I've got a man involved in a situation. Part of this barrier is linked to a man who's blocking the way to progress, who is blocking your ambition. We're working to get them out of the way. If necessary, I have a spiritual crowbar. I will move him out of the way. You need to keep doing walkie-talkies and memories. Thank you, Karen, for that confirmation. He's chatting. Keep listening. Keep trusting. This man that is a bit obstructive at the moment, we're doing what we can to move him. Yes, the barrier I'm aware of. Okay, thanks, Karen. There's nothing I can do directly from here to influence things other than use the walkie-talkie and tell you that we are aware that they are a barrier. I am having a word in the ear of the people who should be guiding him. I say should be because he's not listening. He has got himself stuck in, and by stuck in, I mean dug in, and he is refusing to budge or move, but he's not listening to the own advice that's available to him. And he must be in a position to be able to listen to that, because otherwise his own free will and stubbornness is going to keep him where he is. But know that we're doing everything we can to loosen him up. You are getting through to him. You are getting through to him, but there is some conflict attached to this because he's hearing some of the things that he just doesn't want to hear and he doesn't want to deal with at the moment. But you are getting through to him. Stay strong. He will entrench himself. He will move out of the way, and the barrier will become something you can pass by. and we will manage this conflict. We won't resolve it, Karen, but we will manage it, and we will get you up and over the barrier. Karen says, this is great nephew, and that winds me up. Okay, well, thank you for that confirmation. I'm sorry that they are winding you up. Know that him and others are trying to influence the situation, trying to make things better, also recognise the limitations of their direct effect on what's going on right now. But the encouragement they're giving you to carry on doing exactly what you need to do, of giving them some of those home truths, letting it filter in. Like rain, even if he is made of rock, the rain will get through, it will penetrate, it will sink into him. And actually, you have been asking for him to be well, as if he has some sort of spiritual sickness, and that healing, that desire for him to be well, rather than any, okay, he said, rather than any sort of revenge, which would be easier, he says, you're asking for him to be well. And we are aware about that. And that is exactly what we need. Karen says you were saying this exactly as he would. Thank you so much, Ashley. You're welcome, Karen. It's much easier when they do all the talking. I just have to open my mouth. I'm glad it makes sense to you, Karen. Great encouragement for you. They just need to carry on. Keep doing what you're doing. He's made a rock. He's taking it in. Keep up with the home truths. Keep up with the unconditional love for him. He does not know. He is oblivious. Absolutely oblivious to the barrier that he is causing. And you could add so much more value to him, Karen. He's just singing. I know you said he was in a band and he was doing the harmonica, and he started singing "We'll Meet Again." We'll meet again. And I'm tone deaf, so I won't do any more than that. But as he was singing that, he goes, "Oh, I don't want to suddenly say that I'm going to meet you next week or anything like that. It's not too soon. I'm just singing. I was surrendering. I like that song. We'll meet again. I'll make a place for all of you, but there is no rush. Time means nothing to me in the same way it does to you. But you've got plenty of it, from what I understand. Don't take any up." He's really mischievous, this guy. He said, "Don't take up any hobbies now I've told you you've got a long life ahead of you, like jumping in front of buses, because you've got free will. You can influence that destiny quite quickly. I make a place for you, Karen. I make a place for you. We'll meet again. Only you don't need to worry about that. That is, we don't do fortune telling anyone. As far as the reason to believe that you'll meet very quickly, just you'll meet again. Okay, he's lots of fun. That was at his funeral, and it was a standing joke. Okay, well, thank you very much for that confirmation, Karen. I'm glad he's gave you some evidence. He's having a laugh and a smile. He wants to see a smile on your face, and he wants to give you that encouragement. Take his love and mine, Karen. Thank you very much. That was your message. Friends, thank you very much for working with me as I gave a demonstration of mediumship. I'm sorry I didn't get round to more people in the church or online, but it's been a great pleasure to serve the church today at the Divine Service. God bless and thank you. Yeah, there's another bit. What we'll do, folks, is I'll take the opportunity, looking around some of the faces in the church and online, you'll all be very aware of our annual spiritual and psychic weekend. Well, this year we have 2 events. I know some of you have signed up for one or both, but to let you know, they are almost all totally sold out. So our next weekend in March, which is the first weekend in March, due to ill health, we have had a room come available. It's the only room left in the hotel. So if you know anybody that's interested in coming away to our spiritual and psychic weekend in March, this one is in partnership with our good friends at Spiritual Psychic TV. If you head over to spiritseeker.co.uk, more information, or you can get direct in contact with me. Also, we have a retreat in autumn in the lovely Shakespeare Town, Stratford-upon-Avon. Beautiful sort of country hotel in the middle of the countryside. I've got about half a dozen double rooms available for that too. So if you are interested, or you know people that are interested in a spiritual and psychic weekend, head over to spiritseeker.co.uk for all the information. But you're looking at a half-board, fully inclusive, otherwise weekend with free drinks, all your mediumship demonstration, healing, lectures for about £275 a person. So thanks for the opportunity to get a quick advert in. Millie B says, great show. Thank you so much, Ashley and Richard. Millie, you're very welcome. Thanks to everyone online for your support. Stephen says, thank you, Ashley. Lovely messages. Well, love to you all online. I want to hand over to Dad. Thank you to people in the church.
Well done, Ash. Thank you very much. Hope you've enjoyed this morning. Better than playing rugby on Sunday morning. Different, yeah. Claire's gone rugby today. No, she's not playing, but she took Ethan rugby. Friends, that's winding up now for the day. I thank Spiritual Psychics TV and our producer, Richard James, for all the hard work he puts into not only Wimbledon Spiritualist Church, but the whole work of Spiritual Psychics TV. As I've said before, it's there for you as people. So join it, become a patron, donate, whatever you can do. There's an online shop. There's so much Spiritual Psychics TV is offering its community. So please take part of it. And there's a lot of Zoom meetings, and Skype is certainly Sundays when we do the Skype. But I thank everybody at Spiritual Psychics TV because they brought a dream together. When Ashley came up with the idea of the TV screens, everything, I didn't really see it happening, so I'm not a very good medium. But thank you very much for everybody, and I hope you have a good morning. Next week's medium is Frederick Haggard. He'll be online. He'll be working from his home base, and I'll sort that all out with Richard James later today. Friends, good morning. God bless you. I'm just going to ask Ashley to close with prayer, and that will be it for the morning.
Please join us, friends, as we close in prayer. It's with love and joy in our hearts that we ask your blessing upon this service this morning, and for the Wimbledon Spiritualist Church and the church family, you, the congregation at the church, and you, the congregation on Facebook and YouTube. If you've made a journey to watch the service today, we hope and we wish you a safe journey home. If you are at home watching the service, then we ask that you stay safe at home. May the committee and helpers here remain mindful of their obligations to keep the doors open. We acknowledge all the hard work the organisers and volunteers do. We thank God and our spirit friends who blessed us with their presence and their companionship. And we ask a blessing upon all the homes that are represented here and the families therein. So we depart according and leave this church in peace. Amen.
Friends, Spiritual Psychics TV, here virtually and here spiritually, physically, I bid you a good morning. God bless, and may God go with you during the coming week. God bless you, friends. Goodbye.
Spiritual Psychics TV .online. Spiritual Psychics TV isn't just an online broadcasting service. We also offer many features via our website. SPTV offers a unique directory that uses geolocation to find your nearest reader or venue, just by using your postcode. The Academy section allows anyone to upload and create their own spiritual courses within minutes. For those who like to read, then our online magazine area will offer just that. The SPTV shop enables anyone to start their online shop, be it to sell used or new items. You can also find our schedule and information about our shows.
Spiritual Psychics TV, bringing spiritual people together.